accelerating Abu Dhabi's innovation ecosystem, I would like to also invite Mr. Tony Han, founder, chairman, and CEO of WeRide, to join this conversation. And also we welcome to the stage again Miss Becky Anderson, managing editor and anchor of the Connect the World, CNN Abu Dhabi.
All right, well, an extremely enlightening panel preceding us, which I think allows us to crack on and talk about vision to impact here. How Bara, Your Excellency, and two key partners here in Abu Dhabi are accelerating Abu Dhabi's innovation ecosystem. Your Excellency, let me start with you. And just for the purposes of this room and our audience, just explain how the Abu Dhabi Investment Office, of which you are the Director General, is set up to cultivate this environment where startups, corporations, governments and its entities evolve together. Just lay the table for us, if you will, on ADIO.
So the Abu Dhabi Investment Office, as you can imagine, our job is actually to bring the entire ecosystem together, from the regulators to the private sector to academia, and to some of the countries that we consider as key partners, to actually cultivate this environment where we're trying to push forward the thinking and the objectives which is set towards diversifying the economy and accelerating the GDP impact from the private sector's contribution to the economy. So as an example, when we first envisioned that we wanted to get into the future of transportation and the future of mobility, we envisioned a world where it's not limited to car or road transportation, but we thought about air, we thought about sea, we thought about robotics, and we said there's a common theme, a common thread across all of them, and that's autonomy, and that's electric. So from a perspective of what the Abu Dhabi Investment Office is mandated to do, is it's mandated to actually create that ecosystem, remove obstacles, create an environment where the private sector feels confident about deploying serious money, serious investment in creating jobs, but also creating new technology, and obviously finding the end users that will deploy their technologies. And the government is there to make sure that we backstop that. We give the confidence to companies like the Abu Dhabi Airports Company or WeRide to start deploying their solutions into the market.
Well, let's talk about what that looks like. Elena, it's great to have you. Tony, thank you for joining us today. Let's start with Abu Dhabi Airports. You operate 5 commercial airports in the Emirate, including Zayed International. That welcomed a record-breaking 29 million passengers in 2024. Terminal A, though, is more than new capacity. I know that is absolutely your position. You've discussed how it represents a strategic shift in how Abu Dhabi wants to position itself in global aviation. So what does that look like? And just provide briefly, if you will, how what you are doing at the airport effectively executes on what is the Abu Dhabi vision and strategy that we've been hearing about this morning.
Yeah, of course. So we feel and we see ourselves as an enabler of the Abu Dhabi vision. So of course we want to enable the trade, we want to enable the tourism, enhance the connectivity element of Abu Dhabi. And of course we feel the responsibility also to live up at the ambition of the innovation agenda of Abu Dhabi. Our vision is to shape the future of airport experience, is in a way in our DNA. And since the opening of Zayed International Airport, we have been perceived to be at the forefront of the technology innovation. So we are happy to share the announcement we made before. We are going to be in charge of developing 10 vertiports across, more than 10 vertiports across Abu Dhabi. We are already developing vertiports at Zayed International and Al Batina. Al Batina is going to become the hub because it's conveniently located in the heart of the city. But we have also, from a customer experience perspective, enabled biometric solutions in 5 of the 9 touch points of the customer experience, of the passenger experience. We're going to roll them out to the entire journey because we want our passengers to have a seamless experience, and at the same time, this helps us enhancing capacity and enhancing the safety and the security.
Can you just talk a little bit more about the announcement that we've just heard when it comes to very specifically what this sort of smart autonomous technology is going to look like for the airport in principle and for the consumer using that airport?
Yeah, of course, there is an aspect strictly related to the airports, of course. So we need to enable the connectivity of Abu Dhabi, right, to the world, but we want also to enable the connectivity of our airports to the rest of the city, to the rest of the Emirate and UAE, and hence focusing on intermodal connectivity. eVTOL, we are going to see the first operations in 2026, are definitely going to be an additional mode of transportation that, of course, is going to enhance the passenger experience and the efficiency of the passenger experience. But the mandate we have been given is to build a network of vertiports in order to connect also other sites that are important from a urban perspective, from a tourist perspective, and again, to offer a different mode of transportation to all the people coming from to Abu Dhabi.
Perfect. And I'm going to come back to you on some of the other work that you're doing at the airport. Tony, let me bring you in at this point. WeRide is a leading company in autonomous driving technology. This month became the world's first publicly traded robo-taxi company in Hong Kong and in the United States. How is the partnership between WeRide and the UAE, what does it look like in principle? What's the impact on the ground here today and going forward? And how has it helped you expand the reach of the company?
Okay, thanks for the question. I think WeRide deployed in many countries, but I think our collaboration with UAE and more specifically with Abu Dhabi is currently the example. As the speaker just mentioned this morning, like UAE is really a leading country. WeRide and Uber has already tested the driverless operation robotaxi start from the second quarter this year, and we have tested extensively. Now, pending the approval of ITC, we will actually deploy the full driverless robotaxi in Abu Dhabi. This is the first one of Uber deploying driverless robotaxi out of US, and this is the first one WeRide deployed driverless robotaxi out of China. And WeRide has been deployed driverless robotaxi in China for more than 2 years, and we have give rise to many passengers. So people have already verified it's safe enough, but we want to actually really together with Uber to showcase to the public that this technology is safe.
And I wonder what it takes to scale autonomy globally and navigate what is the regulatory minefield that comes with it.
I want to thanks to the UAE government, more important, Abu Dhabi government. As mentioned, His Excellency mentioned, that is true. Like Abu Dhabi and UAE, you guys give the strongest support. I have never seen any other government in the world being so supportive, being so determined to push forward for the robotaxi and application of robotics. And with this kind of strong support, and of course with the strong technology from WeRide and Uber, we actually are ready to scale. To me, we have deployed hundreds of robotaxi. Now, altogether, we have more than 1,500 robotaxi testing for more than 2,000 days. So technology-wise, I don't think it's an obstacle. Regulatory support is very important. And in this aspect, UAE and Abu Dhabi is unparalleled in the world. And that's why Uber and WeRide put all the resource and investment in Abu Dhabi to maybe in December try to push out the driverless robotaxi to all of the public.
That's fascinating. I want to talk about smart clusters, AI and digital twins, and powering AV innovation. And this has been something I know that you've you've concentrated on very specifically here in the UAE and in Abu Dhabi specifically. Xavi and Hub 71, big names in Abu Dhabi's innovation story. Can you explain just what those entities are and how they are speeding up the transformation on the ground, Your Excellency?
I just want to even reinforce what you said about safety when it comes to digital twins. With the ITC, as an example, which is the Integrated Transport Center, Abu Dhabi Mobility, they are adopting digital twins to actually be able to test these vehicles before they're actually gone on the, they're put on the streets. And it goes through a different phase. It starts off in a digital environment, tested, tried, made sure that it's safe to go on the road. Then it's on the road with a safety driver, and then it's without a safety driver. And what's very unique about what's going on with WeRide and Uber at the moment is that if you go on Uber and you're on Maria Island or Reem Island or Saadiyat or Yas, you can actually call for an autonomous car. Anywhere
I can
around.
attest to that. I'm a resident here.
Anywhere.
It happens all the time.
If, Becky, you do this anywhere around the world, it's potentially maybe an autonomous car, but maybe a car with a driver. But here you can pick the vehicle. And that gives, building up the public confidence, giving the customer assurance that this is a safe form of transportation. Now, just moving on to your question about Savi and Hub 71. So Savi is the smart and autonomous vehicle industry economic cluster, which combines air, land, and sea applications. And essentially, what I said before is we're trying to unite the policymaker, the private sector, and academia all in one environment to be able to push the boundaries of innovation. Building on using Hub 71, because potentially most economic clusters and most governments focus on what we like to call the big boys, right? The big companies, those that actually move the needle, make a difference to the economy. But the reality is, because it's such a nascent, let's say a nascent sector and technology environment, that there is a lot of startups that are popping in. And a lot of these big companies are actually being fed by the startups. So we focus on the entire value chain.